Welcome back to CelebTalky. Today we're breaking down the real story of Allan Gore, the quiet Texas husband whose life was turned upside down by one of the most shocking true crime cases in American history. We're not focusing on Candy Montgomery. We're focusing on Allan himself and what really happened to him. Allan Gore was living a normal, small-town life in Texas with his wife Betty and their two daughters. He worked in tech, went to church, and lived what looked like a simple suburban routine. But everything changed when he began an affair with Candy Montgomery, a woman from their church group. What Allan thought was a controlled, secret relationship eventually spiraled into something far more destructive than he ever imagined. On June 13, 1980, while Allan was away on a business trip, his wife Betty Gore was found brutally killed with an axe. Allan first became concerned when he couldn't reach Betty for hours. His repeated phone calls went unanswered, and he finally asked neighbors to check on her, which led to the horrifying discovery. So suddenly, Allan went from being a husband dealing with marital issues to being thrust into the center of a murder investigation. When the truth about the affair surfaced, Allan faced enormous public scrutiny. He admitted to the affair in court, a moment that shocked the community and reshaped the narrative of the trial. Many questioned his choices, his silence, and his emotional distance. And while Candy ultimately claimed self-defense and was acquitted, Allan had to deal with the fallout, the loss of his wife, the destruction of his reputation, and the trauma that followed. So what happened to Allan after the trial? In the years that followed, he tried to rebuild his life. He remarried, moved away from Texas, and attempted to create stability for his daughters. But reports say his relationship with them grew strained over time, especially as the case continued to be talked about in documentaries, books, and TV series. Today, Allan Gore lives a very private life. He avoids interviews, stays off social media, and rarely speaks about the past. He is believed to be retired and residing quietly in another state, far from the small Texas town where everything happened. While Candy Montgomery's story continues to resurface in pop culture, Allan has chosen a life of silence, a man marked forever by a tragedy he never expected and a scandal he couldn't escape. Thanks for watching CelebTalky. If you want more deep dives into real stories behind major true crime cases, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. More stories coming soon.